Hey everybody, Motopoet here. Well, my plan that I created last week to do the results on Monday or Tuesday and then do the rest of it later in the week and get a little more content up, make things a little shorter, isn't working out because every time I turn around this last week, I've had another fire I've had to put out. And I've been just slam busy. Today's no different, but I'm going to take the time to do this anyway. Talk about Daytona, the results at Daytona. In the 250 class, Jett Lawrence has no real competition. Styles Robertson, hometown boy, actually looked good. Lawrence ended up pulling, towards the end of the moto, ended up pulling some time on him, but Robertson was only about 5 seconds behind him for most of the race, and then behind Robertson was a huge gap. Don't recall what it was, but no one was even close to him. He finished an easy second. Cameron McAdoo had to make up some positions and ended up third. Pierce Brown was fourth, rode a good race. May have to go with him next week. This week, fifth was Enzo Lopes. And my picks for the week were Lopes, Hampshire, Robertson, and Smith, Jordan Smith. Enzo Lopes, Styles Robertson, and Jordan Smith all got me first place points. Hampshire had another race where he was on the ground a couple of times and just didn't have a good race. He finished seventh, but he's capable of much, much better results than that. But he was a -1, so I got 8th place points with him. But hey, lately I've been having at least one rider who didn't finish, who either DNF'd or finished out of the points. The 450 class, Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb put on a great race. Shane McElrath was being lapped and he tried to get out of the way, pulled over, and Webb misjudged where he was going to go. And Tomac was able to get by Webb because of that. And that's Webb's fault. That's not McElrath's fault. It's not like McElrath was squirreling out. He pulled to one side and stayed there, and Webb just picked the wrong line. Getting around lappers is part of racing, and Tomac did a better job of it than Webb. Webb should have realized that McElrath was going a lot slower than him and moved over and blocked Tomac on the outside. He didn't do that. That's his fault. And in his defense, in the interview, he didn't make any bones about it. He just said it sucks, but that's racing. And I admire that. I'm not a big Cooper Webb fan, but I admire his honesty about it. Chase Sexton had an uneventful third place. Didn't look good, didn't look bad, just looked okay because Tomac and Webb were hauling ass. Ferrandis got another decent finish, got fourth, and Barcia another fifth, which is kind of where he's been finishing. It sucks. I am a big Barcia fan, and it sucks that, I don't know, he needs to get that little extra thing going. He needs to get better starts for one thing, but he needs to be up there in the beginning to see if he can hang with those guys. My riders for the week were Tomac, who was a 1, Dylan Ferrandis, Justin Barcia, and Malcolm Stewart. And Tomac, Ferrandis, and Barcia all got me first place points. Stewart was a 4 handicap, so he finished 8th, which gave me a 4th for points. And he and Anderson can't seem to avoid each other. Need to knock it off. So I've said before, I don't have a problem with banging bars, but it's getting to the point where they're taking each other out of the points. This was a big point hit especially for Anderson. I mean, I get it. Malcolm's got to show that he's not going to tolerate it. But when you're going to do that with somebody, like Carmichael always said, don't take yourself out. Everybody blew up the thing. Oh, it happened again later with that was more of a Dean Wilson thing. Stewart looked like he got his front brake lever into a tough block and came to a dead stop. Wilson went around him, and Anderson ran into the back of him. And they both ended up 8th and 9th. That's not going to get them championships. They need to put this behind them and start racing again. Hey, if you want to bang bars, that's one thing, but stop taking each other out. Big news, Ken Roczen has pulled out of the series to deal with post-COVID fatigue issues. I know exactly what he's talking about. Not that I'm going out racing motocross or anything, but for all of you who don't know, I almost died of COVID in 2020. My lungs still haven't recovered fully. I still get winded easily. I get fatigued easily. And I recover quickly enough for me. But as I said, I'm just walking around. I'm not out trying to race Supercross and motocross. So I hope whatever problems Ken has, he is able to address prior to the outdoor season, because the outdoor season is twice as tough as the Supercross season physically. All right, my plan was to do something separately with the GPs, but I didn't have time for that either. So the GP of Lombardia in Italy was won the 250 class, was won by Jago Geertz. Andrea Adamo finished second overall with a 4-3. Geertz won both motos, but wow, Adamo, not generally one of the guys that runs up front, but he really looked good this last weekend. You could tell at the end of the moto that he was starting to get a little tired. He was starting to make mistakes, and you motocross folks know what I'm talking about. You can tell when guys are getting tired and they start, running over the tops of ruts instead of getting into them. You know what I'm talking about, and that's obviously what was going on with Adamo, but still a great race for him. Wolff went 3-4, third overall. He looked pretty strong. Simone Langenfelder, last week's winner with a 1-1, didn't have a good day. He had bad starts and some issues, and he ended up going 8-2. His second moto was awesome, but he still had to come from behind. But he went 8-2 for fourth overall. Kevin Horgamo, who is from Norway, went 7-9 for fifth place overall. Tom Vialle finished second in the first moto and looked really good. He was flying, but in the second moto, he was leading, and he had a horrendous crash. I couldn't believe he didn't. Not only did he not get hurt, he just bounced back up, got back on his bike, but he was way back. We caught up to 21st, so he didn't score any points, but he appears to be okay. He gave it his all. That's always admirable to see people do that. In the 450s, Moto 1, Jorge Prado, whole shot, and looked good the whole moto, led the whole moto. Tim Geiger finished second. Maxime Renault was third. Jeremy Seibert was fourth. And the Spaniard Ruben Fernandez finished fifth. He had a good race. In the second moto, Geiger took the lead early, and Prado got a terrible start, but worked his way up to fifth and was battling, and had been battling for quite a few laps with Thomas Kier Olsen. And he went down. He was going faster than Olsen. He probably would have gotten around him, but he went down and ended up 8th in Moto 2. Maxime Renault finished second in the second moto. Brian Bogers finished third, his first good race of the year. TKO, I love Thomas Kier Olsen. He's from Denmark, and TKO is his initials. I love that. I think that's so cool. He's really starting to come around on the 450. Last year was his rookie year on the 450, and he struggled with it a little bit, but he's starting to look more consistent and pretty quick on the 450. Jeremy Seibert was leading the second moto and had led it for about 10 laps, I think, and he went down, then caught back up to 7th, then fell again, got up, caught back up to 5th, and that's where he finished in the second motos. The overall was Tim Geiger with a 2-1, Maxime Renault with a 3-2, Jorge Prado with 1-8, Brian Bogers with a 7-3, and Jeremy Seibert with a 4-5. That's this week. If I have time, I'm going to try to get my picks in tomorrow so I don't miss out. Then I'll check again after qualifying and see what's going on. I'll let you know. What did you think of the racing at Daytona? Did you watch the GPs? What did you think of that? Some pretty fantastic stuff going on there. Guys going fast and guys going down hard. Let me know in the comments below. Shoot me an email at motopoet59@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, click on the bell if you want to be notified of future content. I'll see you all later.